Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Monday evening's Zero stream. I hope everyone is doing well today. Small animal. Hello, chat. Let's welcome everyone who's here already. We got Watcher Zigzagoon up in the chat. We got Mouse with a dinosaur tail, way earlier than we usually see her. Screaming Duncan, 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 and Domino. Those are me rats. We also got Tail Simp. Says hello Zero, hello Zigzagoon, and hey little baby. Little rat babies indeed. Tropical Snaky, welcome to the stream. Welcome everyone. I hope everyone's having a good day. It is a new month, a new season. We are here in the summer season now in Animal Crossing. A lot of the sharks are out. And I thought I shuffled you. Let's hit shuffle. There we go. I'm trying out a new playlist today. I went online and I gathered a bunch of video game songs that were chill, hopefully, and we'll give them a listen, and we'll see how that works. I hope you can hear them. Let me know how the sound is, because as you know, sound is a little strange on Macs when it comes to streaming. Tropical Snaky says it's winter for me. Oh, welcome from the southern hemisphere then. Very fun. Wait, no. Don't put that away yet. So what are we doing today? Today we are drawing Pokemon DnD race sheets. Now I was approached by let me see if I get this right. Yisha Stone about a project that they've been working on where they asked different artists to do a character sheet, I guess, but not really for characters. It's for D&D style races, as if each Pokemon species was a different race. And what our job is to draw the quote-unquote race or species of Pokemon in several different D&D classes. So this is a sample, Zorua, and I suppose I gave the information a quick read. I will go over it again as we stream today, but I think what it is we have to make 2 character illustrations per species. So since I have the Lotad family, I'm going to do Lotad, two drawings of Lotad, 2 drawings of Lombre, and 2 drawings of Ludicolo. And I also have to create 1 background of this size to go behind. And there is like a list or something of D&D classes I can choose from, and items that are associated with each class. And also, the classes can't overlap. So if I have a Lotad thief, I can't do a Lombre thief. I have to do different ones for each of them, which sounds like a lot of fun, right? I think so. But it would have to fit the requirements. So let me see if I can parse through this information. I should have, you know, properly set all of this up beforehand, obviously, but, I've been a little distracted today. So, forgive me if I am just now setting it up and reading through. Currently hopping between 2 streams. Zigzagoon is, as always, is multi-streaming, multitasking, multi-viewing. I don't know what you would call that, but good luck, Ziggs. And Snakey says Bard. Are you saying for what that that Zorua was, or are you saying that should be one of the classes that I draw? Because I like Bard. I do. By the way, epic image there. Thank you. This background I did on a previous stream for a Patreon request. So, yeah, every month patrons of a certain tier get to suggest a topic for me to draw, and I have fun with it. Okay, there we go. So I have my canvas set up here as a 2" by 2" at 600 resolution, because I think that was the minimum requirement that they set. But let me give it a gander again. So Pokemon pictures should be at larger. It says at larger. I think they mean at largest. Either that or no larger. It's possible, then 2" by 2". So I have the canvas set to 2" by 2". They said it would be nice if it's a vector image, but a high pixel count it works too. So I set the resolution to 600 because I don't like to work in vectors. I know Clip Studio has some kind of function where it lets you draw in vector, but that's not my I'm not good at it yet. Maybe one day I will figure it out. Let's see. And then the header, I guess I'll worry about later. But let's talk about classes, shall we? So there's 12 classes. We have well, let's see what we're drawing first. So I have the Lotad family. I have already done Lotad from the Pokemon families, right? The series that I usually work on, which I guess we're gonna take a bit of a break from this month. But in terms of that, I have drawn it before, so I am not completely unfamiliar. And during the Shield playthrough, I did actually catch my first Lombre and used her for a bit. She didn't last very long. That was my mistake. That was his mistake. But it gave me a chance to draw Lombre again. Let me see how much I remember of it. As I probably have said before, Lombre has never been one of my favorite Pokemon. I really didn't like it based on the sprites back in the day, but over time, as I became more fond of ugly Pokemon, it's like the perfect kind of ugly Pokemon to me. It's like awkwardly proportioned, but in a fun way. In a way that can be worked with. I think there was more to it, but I don't remember. And then, of course, jolly old Ludicolo. I think his hat is actually spiky on the top. Now this hat is already making me think wizard, right? But the question is, would that qualify as a wizard hat, or would Ludicolo wear a wizard hat over his pineapple hat? And his big old mouth, of course. Ludicolo is a jolly fellow, isn't he? He's like, I don't know. Oh boy. Oh, I don't know what's happening. Oh. Psych. Wizard. And he like pulls out his wizard magic. Well, after giving these three a bit of a doodle, I feel like I do need to pull up reference. I thought maybe I would remember how they look just, you know, on my own, but let's pull up a reference. Lombre. Oh, I don't have to look it up. I can just tab over Ludicolo. So, Snaky says Lotad is a wizard, Lombre is a warlock, Ludicolo is a bard. Oh, bard Ludicolo would be perfect. Mouse says, I forgot Lotad has 6 legs and got so confused. It does, right? Does it? Yeah, it does. Okay. It has 6 legs, and then what happens to them when it grows up, huh? What happens to all those legs, dude? Because, like, Ludicolo is covered in fur, so you would think maybe it's, like, hidden under, but no, Lombre is a naked boy. It's just a skinny boy. Okay, let's put those aside. That'll be my reference. And, I need 2 classes for each. I think Bard is perfect for Ludicolo. Absolutely a Bard. Wizard? Lotad, did you say? Lotad as a wizard and Lombre as a warlock. I guess I can get warlock a little bit, like, from the attitude. I might skip warlock because I'm not 100% sure what a warlock is. But I'll look at the list of items and see. I've played a little bit of D&D, but not a whole bunch. I know that wizards study their magic. And I think sorcerers are born with their magic. And I think warlocks, like, get their magic from some evil power. And then clerics, like, get it from a not evil power, is what I'm assuming. Mage. Okay, if mage is another thing, I have no idea what that is. But let's go back to the classes that were available. So we do have barbarian. That could be fun. That could be a fun one. And I like thief, but that's a little easy. I think it's very easy to do thief. Maybe monk. Maybe a Ludicolo monk. I don't know. I can try monk with I almost called a Lombre a warlock. With the Lombre, cuz he has some limbs that can be useful. I'm gonna pull this up so I can see my babies. I like Bard. Barbarian maybe. a barbarian, Ludicolo, or wizard. I'm still on the wizard thing. As for the Lotad, well, not ranger. I don't know how a Lotad would be able to be a ranger. Doesn't have anything to shoot with. Maybe it has like a tiny little slingshot. I don't know. Thief, maybe, I guess. Maybe a cleric. Lombre might be a cleric. Because maybe, I think they have, like, hammers or something. Mage for Ludicolo. Druid for what? Let's do Druid for something. Druid for Lotad. And like their head thing can be like a pond with a bunch of like stuff growing out of it and like fish living in it, and he's like one with nature. That could be fun. Okay, so why did I just write Lotad? I meant to write Druid. Let's do Druid. Let's try Wizard. Okay. Try Wizard tournament? No. Monk, Cleric. I can see maybe Thief. I don't know. Monk, Cleric, and then Barbarian, Wizard. Druid, Thief, or Cleric. Oh, if I do Wizard for... Okay, Bard, Barbarian, Druid, Wizard, and Monk, Cleric. Let's try that. Okay, let's go. Let's try that. Let's start with Ludicolo. Let's start with Ludicolo. He's the biggest. He's the most... The closest, I guess, to being human, I suppose. I know Lombre is a little more human, like a human child, but Ludicolo is like bigger. So let's just go with that one. I already forgot. Bard. Okay, Ludicolo. Let me pull up the Bard references that might help. What is this? Okay, items a bard may have. Musical instrument, lute, panpipes, lyre, flute, recorder, guitar, ukulele. I definitely see a Ludicolo playing a ukulele. Bagpipes. Let me, actually, I'm gonna turn the music down a little. It's very loud for me. Portable piano, tambourine. Oh, I can see it with a tambourine too. Hat with a feather, and or a jester hat. I like a feather. Let's put a feather in that hat. Cape. Okay, he's practically got a cape already with the way he's dressed. He's like wearing a poncho. That's kind of a cape, right? Backpack, satchel, that's overflowing. That's a good idea. You can think of any more feel free to email me and I'll add to the list. Okay, cool. They list a lot of things. Let me take a look. Yes, so third stage, I can pick 3 to 5 items. Okay. So let's start with a pose, shall we? Ludicolo is a very happy... And when I'm thinking bard, I'm thinking, like, dancing, right? one could say it's a little cliche to make a Ludicolo bard, but I feel like that's where it's happiest. Whenever I think of Ludicolo, I think of music. You either got the Mirror Bee or the Pika, what's it called? The Pika Polka? Pika Polka. One of my favorite Pikachu shorts back in the day. That short made me laugh out loud. I was rolling around on the floor. Cause you got the silly Lotad that's with the group, and the Lombre Explode? Loudred, that's the one. The Loudred that like randomly starts chasing after them and he's like really angry. I think I assumed it was some kind of like inside joke from the season. And then just a random Ludicolo shows up, just out of nowhere. Not like set up or anything. I think the Lombre, I keep saying Lombre, I mean Loudred. I think the Loudred was at least a little bit set up, because they fall on it at some point and then it gets angry. I might be misremembering. But the Ludicolo just absolutely shows up out of the stinking nowhere. And I loved it. I want to make sure it still feels fat and jolly. I think I slimmed it down a bit too much. Ludicolo with maracas. I think I'm gonna go accordion. It wasn't on the list, I don't think, but I love accordions. Accordion. I don't know what they look like, I just like them. Accordion boy! You know, I really like the sound of a harmonica, and later on in life I was listening to a soundtrack and I was like thinking, wait a minute, is that an accordion? Do accordions just sound like harmonicas? They have a similar sound. All the accordion references I'm seeing have it curved this way. I kind of wanted to have it curved this way to show that he's playing it like that, but I feel like maybe the instrument just has to be down. So that's what I'm gonna do. I think it seems like there are buttons on this side, so I'm gonna put some buttons. And then there's some kind of keyboard over here. I wonder if you have to learn how to play the piano before you can play an accordion. Like, it has a literal piano keyboard on one side. Very interesting. Sort of hybrid. Paper fan. Okay, something like that, right? Let's make sure he's fat enough. Let's not reading very well because of where the hand is. Let me see if I can move any part of his body down a little. Will it look weird if I stretch him just a little bit? And then up top, got his hat. Gonna make it swoop a bit like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's the kind of hat that the guy from the Ludicolo. No, I keep saying, okay. Let me think. What's it called? The Lucario movie. The guy from the Lucario movie that has like a hat. It's kind of swishy, right? I don't know for sure, but okay, there's too many Pokemon with names that sound the same. Now, Ludicolo, Lucario, Loudred, they're all like in the what Pokemon should the feather be from? I'm gonna give him some feathers in his hat. Maybe like a scarf tied around. To hold them in place. Which means they would probably be a little higher. Like that. Maybe 2 different bird Pokemon. Oh, I should probably save. DnD Pokemon. It's not really a commission, but I'll put it in this folder just so I can keep track of it. I'll probably lose track of it. But anyway, yeah, so what else should he have? Oh, yes, a cape, of course. Do I want to give him a cape? Or backpack, maybe. I'll give him a backpack. That'll fill it out. That'll fill out the space a little better. And, got some rolled up scrolls in his backpack. Maybe they're like sheet music for songs he's composing. Oh yeah, Bard is also a caster, isn't he? So you got like who are like, I studied for years for this magic, and then the sorcerers are just like, lol, I was just born with this. And then like the warlocks are like, lol, I got this from like some evil spirit or whatever. And then the cleric's like, I just pray for my magic. And then the bard runs in and he's like, I just play music, I don't know how it happens. Like, well, of all the classes, who decided one of them is a guy who just plays music and the effect is magic happens. Whee! I don't know what else a bard would have in his backpack. I guess if he travels around a lot, he would need a bedroll. I could also look up what a bard starts with. Like their starting items in normal D&D, but that would take time. Just give him a frying pan, because that's what I would want with me if I'm traveling. I don't know how it's hanging on, but it's there. It's holding on. It's holding on there. Now I want to watch a Ludicolo movie. Skarmory Feather. Oh. That could be interesting. Okay, that's more like a soup ladle, but whatever. Maybe on the side here he can have like a holster with a that's more like a pocket actually. I'll give him a coin purse. Coin purse. I think that's enough stuff for now. Boots. I could give him boots. He's got nothing down here. Okay, but now the question is, so I'm only allowed to give him upwards of 5 items, okay? Does his hat count as an item if it's just part of him? And if not, do I have to count the feathers in his quote-unquote hat as an item? Or can I? So let's say 1 boot. I'm gonna call this one bat. I'm gonna what's a shorter word for backpack? Satchel. Instrument. That's 3. Feathers. That's 4. Okay. I'm gonna leave it there. I don't want it to be too incredibly, well, it's already kind of crowded, isn't it? Whatever, it's a bard. They get to be crowded. And just one last thing. I think the face is a little too over to one side. Let me squeeze it over just a tad. Just a low tad. Alright. Bongo. Let's see. Skarmory. Skarmory feather, it's just red and it looks shiny. I'll make it shiny. Red. What's another feather? Let's see. Why are you booing me, mouse? What did I do? Let's see. Another bird flying Pokemon. Flying Pokemon. Cramorant, maybe. Oh. Does Masquerain's antennae count as a feather? Or would that be kind of morbid to be wearing a Masquerain feather? Oh, Rufflet has a pretty nice feather. Let's pluck that off of its head. Ha 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 ha! Let's pluck that off of its head, the poor baby. Okay. And, let's see. I think for these two down here, I'm gonna do them gray, and I'll say they're like, I don't know, from a pie dove or something. Let's do another one, shall we? Let's say, what did I say? Barbarian. Oh, yeah, okay. So, jolly ol' Ludicolo, right? Oh, well, Mouse, it's over. Did you just get here? What were you booing about? Do you want me to play it again? A Ludicolo Barbarian. Okay, so this one I want him to be like ready to fight, stance wide, low to the ground, probably. Music volume is very quiet. I can certainly turn it up a bit. Let me know if it's too loud now. Okay, so one arm here, one arm here. I'm gonna have him hunched over a bit and really ready to just beat you up, you know? There's a class called Fighter, which I think is is just like a soldier. Maybe they should have called it soldier, because fighter is like, well, the monk class is a fighter. The barbarians are fighters. What do you mean by fighter? It's such a, like, even a ranger is a fighter. They just fight long range, you know? Like, it's such a nondescript kind of class description. They say a human fighter is like the most boring class and race combination you can think of in D&D, which to me just sounds like a challenge. It's like, oh, okay, I guess I'll choose that one and see how much fun I can have with it. Okay, I'm spiking his hat backwards, and his hat will go forward, so like and maybe it's short. How do I make it look short without making it look like it's been like eaten? But he's still gonna be happy. He's here to fight and he loves it. Alright, he's too big though. Let me shrink him down a little. I'm gonna move his hat up a bit. I think everything's just way too squat. I wanted to squash him down and now he's like... he's shorter than a dwarf. You know, I want to see a movie or a show or even just like a D&D character that's like a little person. So like he's a human, and then he like meets and then the dwarves are like, "Oh, are you a dwarf? Where's your beard?" And he's like, "No, I'm just a short human. I've just born this way." And it's like, and then the halflings are like, "Oh, a fellow halfling." And he's like, "No, I'm just a human. I'm just, you know, I'm not a whatever you are." And the gnomes are all like, "Oh, where's your tail?" You always see like the weirdly placed races in fantasy where they basically just look like humans, but something. And it's like, well, we kind of have people like that already. I want to see them interact. This might be a fun scenario. You know, I don't like the face. I think I want him to be more crazy. That's the thing about a barbarian. They're angry, but they're also crazy, you know? And you know what? He has that, like, what appears to be a fur poncho. What if the fur on his poncho was, like, spiky? You know how, like, barbarians wear fur? He's basically already got that down. So... Yeah, let's try that. Do barbarians, like, do the whole braid your beard thing, or is that just a dwarf thing? I'm gonna see if I can put some braids up in here. Yeah, like that. And then, so I have his hands here, because he's holding whatever these weapons are. Let me shrink him just a little bit more. I still have the bard in the background, as you can see, because I want them to be roughly the same size. Uh-huh. Something like that. Mouse says, so is this a commission? It's not a commission, it's, you can say it's an, like a collab, I guess, kind of like the, draw every Pokemon one that we did last month. You could say it's an art trade because, the person running it, does little figurines for everyone who participates. You can also just say it's, something I wanted to do. It was, the person approached me, and I was like, yes, this is something I wanna participate in. I like, dressing Pokemon up. I think it's fun. Anthropomorphizing Pokemon is a lot of fun. Maybe give him eyebrows. Maybe give him, like, really bushy eyebrows that pop off his head. I don't know. I have to remember I'm not doing like a barbarian isn't a different race that would have like different physical characteristics, but then again, if you're like raised in the wild, unkempt and stuff, you would probably get some bushy eyebrows. Pokemon Master Wheeler is here! Howdy do! Yeah, I'm thinking axes. That could be really cool. I'm trying to think how I can make it look like he's wearing a fur coat of some kind. He sticks up from the shoulders. But yeah, I had forgotten about this project for a long time. Thankfully, there was no deadline. They did want it like, you know, they're like, obviously, sooner is better, but there was no deadline. They said just keep checking in every month to say if you still want to be part of it, and checking in was like easy because they would email a survey that just said, you want to still go? You want to still do this? Which one did I assign you? Okay, cool. Thanks. So at least once a month I would be reminded. I know Ludicolo isn't shown to have teeth in the official art, but I wonder if they could have teeth. But yeah, I put together this new playlist of some recommendations from the previous stream, some songs that I like, and there's nothing like putting together a playlist of songs from video games to make you realize how few video games you've really played. I might have like shoehorned in a Banjo-Kazooie song, but like I feel like I didn't even include a Banjo-Kazooie song, cause those tracks are like some of my favorite game musics, but they don't have the right vibe that I'm going for. Okay, it's not looking very barbarian. It just looks like a really intense Ludicolo, like a really angry, maybe a woodsman type fella. So let's give him axes, and I'm gonna look up the list of barbarian items. Barbarian, oh, so axe, hammer, club. Oh, club would have been good. Spear, dagger, crossbow. I can put some more weapons on him, maybe. Barbarian has a belt. Okay, so let's stretch him out a little, because I can't really fit a belt on this guy as he is now. Unless the belt goes way up here. Maybe it's a snakeskin belt. Which would mean I have to draw a snakeskin. I need to look up a barbarian. I don't know what this is. Barbarian. Dave the Barbarian. Oh, they're like naked. They got like bare chest, loincloth. This belt is pretty decked out though. It's like, okay, so let's play the Ludicolo's fur into the barbarian loincloth thing. Okay, and then belt. Goes around. Just wants to ask you a question. Made of Ekans. Uh... You know who has a cool barbarian look? Bakugo from My Hero. In that one, I'll give him a pauldron, or whatever this is called, on his shoulder. Yeah, that guy that was one of my favorite, EDs in a long while. Not for the music, unfortunately. When I went to like update my anime playlist with some songs, I did look to that one, cause that was one of my top EDs from that show, and the music just didn't really catch me. I don't know why, but this hand just looks way too small. Maybe something on his arm. Do they wear stuff? Yes, they have a lot of stuff on there. Okay, I can give him gauntlets. Gauntlets on his arm. What a berserker. Hi. That's looking pretty decent, right? Anyway, for anyone who's been playing Animal Crossing, apparently June is wedding month, which I had no idea about, but as you know, there's only one wedded couple I know of in Animal Crossing, and it's our dearly, missed Cyrus and Reese from the retail. And who should show up but the Psy Guy and Reese. So good to see them again. So good. Now, I don't know if the event starts today no matter what, or if it starts when you visit Harvey's Island, but the following day it's going to be a different event. So if you want those, whatever they are, the heart scales, let's be real, they're heart scales, that's what they are. Better catch them now. I'm personally, I really like the picture that I ended up taking for them. I think it's very cute. Instead of having them stand at the altar together and like do the vow thing, I took a in progress shot of Reese walking down the aisle, and Cyrus gaping at his lovely alpaca wife. . I hate drawing symmetrical things. Wait, this isn't called symmetry. What is it? When you have to like draw the same thing twice and they're like exactly the same. Wedding month, Pride month, all at once. Maybe I should draw something for Pulse and Eve. Go ahead, yeah! It's a perfect time for it. Here, I think I have it on my Twitter. You guys take a look at this photo I took for Cyrus and Reese. I put the cherry blossoms from spring on the floor. They look kind of like pink, coffee beans. And my friend Zephyr gave me a street piano that's all pastel, which is perfect for Reese. And that's me in the background. Alright. So I lent my dock switch setup that I used for the Shield stream to my sister because she wanted to play Animal Crossing and stream it so her friends could see, but it wouldn't work with her computer for some reason. So either I'm missing a piece, and I know you're thinking, well, you just finished streaming that series. How did you lose something already? Well, that's just how it be sometimes. So either I'm missing a piece or it's just not like compatible with her computer for whatever reason. So I took it back. I'm going to see if I can. This looks way smaller than the other one. Hold on. You know what? I'm gonna give him two different weapons. He's a barbarian. He can dual wield two different weapons and be okay with it. Maybe what else do they got? Let's give him a giant club. And it's got like those iron bearings on it, so it hurts extra hard when you get hit. Hopefully the Switch works, but yeah, next month is my birthday month, so I might take that month to play some video games on stream. Not that I'm any good at it, but I think I was birthed this month. I can have some fun and play video games while my friends watch, like the good old days. I still have to finish up Hollow Knight. I haven't made a dent in that game. I'm really bad at it, that's why. I have some Humongous Entertainment games on my Steam that I wouldn't need the Switch dock for, but you know, like Putt Putt and Spy Fox, just like these baby games that, you know, let's see how they hold up. I remember them being really fun. I know they're not like challenging per se, but we can find enjoyment in nostalgia, right? Okay, sorry. I'm noodling the details when I should be decorating the fella out. Okay, let's give him. Let's move his weird little beard thing, braid, a little higher so I can sneak in a dagger right here. Right? So he's got a dagger on this side. Would it be under the belt? Yeah. And then let's make this one smaller and over here. And what about is a shield more of a fighter thing, or can a barbarian have a big old shield on his back? Okay, let's count our pieces for now. We got 1 axe. We got 1 mace. Is that called a mace? We got a belt. We got a dagger. And we got gauntlets. Would this shoulder thing count? Let's just call this and this armor. Yes. Okay. I think that's all I can fit on. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Let's complete this one. So this is obviously going to be a multi-stream project. Hopefully I can get at least one of the Ludicolos done today. And then next week we'll finish the other one and then do sketches for both the Lombres. I'm hoping it'll work out by the end of the month where the low tabs will probably take less time because they're a little simpler. But we'll see how far we get. Hello, Virus! Awesome work on the last comic on DeviantArt. Thank you so much! Yeah, if you guys haven't seen it yet, hop on to DeviantArt, 0chan923600. That's my DeviantArt, 0chan923600. What a name. It was my character, my cat, little cat, you know, the cat guy with the feather, and he has like pointy ears, and then he has like wings. This guy, who I never draw anymore, but that guy's name is 0chan, and 923600 is my high school ID, I think, like student ID that I would use to get lunch. Why is it? Okay, there we go. Oh, okay. Do I want to use the crunchy Nuzlocke pen or the blurry normal pen. I think I'll go with the normal pen. I don't quite like the normal pen, but the crunchy nature of the Nuzlocke pen isn't everyone's favorite. I think what the problem with this pen is the minimum size is 1 pixel, and I'm not a big fan of how close it gets. Brush tip. Thickness. Stroke. Gap. Continuous. Ink. How do I... Starting and ending. Starting. No? Oh, gee. Oh, no. Brush size. Minimum value. Why isn't it doing anything? Oh. Brush size. What happens if I put this to, like, 2? It's still really... Is it better? Let me try 4. Let's try it. I think it might be a little better. Oh my goodness, Ludicolo is so... there's this hat especially. It's mostly the hat. I don't... Characters with large, round... I think that's good enough. I'm gonna go with it. I think that's as good as it's gonna get. Oh, perfect. Right when I start drawing the accordion guy, we hear some accordion music. It's almost like I planned it, except I didn't because this is a shuffle playlist. Let me check the chat real quick so we can admire this janky hat I just drew. This hat brim. Arcadia be the maid of honor. She would be so happy to be there, I'm sure. Ash and Pikachu as best man. July is your birth month? Me too! Hey! Birthday zigzagoon buddy! As soon as me new computer arrives, I'll be streaming too. I'm so eager, I can't wait. Ah, what are you streaming? I see your answer to not liking drawing 2 of the same thing was to make them not the same thing. I am smart. Smart is 0, which is me. Virus... Hi, Virus! How you doing? Hi, 0. Awesome work. Oh, I read that already. I have short-term memory loss. How are you? Sometimes it's the simplest of answers. Tails is here. Hey, what's up? What is happening? Oh. This song has words in it. I didn't realize. Let's, skip this song. Barbarians can have shields. Good. I think I might take the shield off though, just because I've hit the limit of how many items I can put on. Tails is like, I mean, it's a 0 stream. Of course, fun is happening. Aw, thank you. Yeah. All right. Let's get back to work. It's like, do you see how like thin it gets at the end, at the points? I don't like that. Let me thicken it up a bit. That's what tends to happen when I pull to make fast strokes to get the, you know, the lines smooth, is the edges become really, really, really thin when it gets close to another part. Oh, let me make the brush bigger. Maybe that'll help. Maybe the answer was to make the brush bigger all along. Let's turn that off for now. No, but now it's too big, see? So I made fried chicken yesterday. I love making fried stuff, but okay, just kidding. I like eating fried stuff, but making fried stuff is the worst because it makes me feel like I'm wasting so much oil. You have to pour a whole vat of oil, and then you throw it away at the end. And it's such a waste. But apparently, according to my dad, oil is cheap, so I tried not to think about it. And then the other problem is it gets really messy. So I took it out onto the deck to fry it, because we have a portable burner, which I don't know how to use, but my dad set it up for me. And yeah, it was a new recipe. I looked it up on YouTube, obviously. But the way I like to do recipes is I'll look up a couple of recipes, and kind of mix and match and like steal some ideas from this and that. One of the okay, so the dish I wanted to make was fried chicken that's crispy. But since every time I make fried chicken that's crispy, I do like some kind of Korean style, and my parents are Chinese, so they probably want to eat something Chinese, I looked up Chinese crispy fried chicken, and I got 3 different videos that I checked out. One was by a black guy, and you know, if anyone knows how to do fried chicken, it's black people. And then I got one from a Chinese guy, because, you know, you gotta see an actual Chinese guy. Chinese people do and he did like a kind of a restaurant style, I guess. The black guy did like a vat in his backyard, which I don't have a vat of frying oil, so I kind of had to look to the other video to see how I can do a home pan version. And then the third one was by the Korean lady that I steal recipes from sometimes, and her recipes don't always turn out right for me. But I noticed something. The first 2 videos, they both marinated their chicken first. They used a similar seasoning. I used the seasoning from the first video, because the black guy did like a bunch of spices, and like he put a bunch more powders in that sounded really good. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm stealing that. The Chinese dude just did like a very small amount, which didn't seem like it would be enough flavor for anyone. And then they both let it sit in the whatever it's called when you put stuff on chicken and then you like rub it in. For like up to 2 hours, and then they said overnight is the best, but I ain't got time for that. But the Korean lady just battered and fried her chicken without any flavoring, and then she like cooked some kind of sticky sauce and coated it at the end. And I'm like thinking, is that why I don't like banchan? Because I don't know if you have banchan where you are, but banchan is a Korean fried chicken restaurant. It's a chain restaurant, and they do really tasty fried chicken that's really crispy on the outside, but absolutely flavorless on the inside. And I don't remember, because I haven't had it in a long time, because I don't tend to eat things that I know I don't like. But I remember it being dry too. That might have just been a bad batch, but yeah, I'm not a big fan. I'm wondering if it's just a Korean thing that they don't marinate their chicken? In any case, so the first video had a lot more spices in it because that was the flavor. That's where the flavor was coming from. The second video also did a sauce at the end and like coated the chicken. So I guess he didn't need his to be as flavorful on the inside, but I wanted both. I wanted to try with both. So I tossed, I think it was like soy sauce and sesame oil and cooking wine, white pepper, black pepper, salt, garlic powder. I even put some ginger powder, even though none of the videos called for it, because I just know from experience that ginger tastes good with chicken. And it came out great. I am like maybe the worst at cooking, cause it took me all day to make the chicken. Granted, some of that time I spent at the grocery store, but I marinated the chicken and by like 2, I think. It was like 2 o'clock, and I went to the grocery store. I got back at 3, and then I started prepping stuff. I had to make more than just chicken, you know? My sister's slightly allergic to chicken. And I didn't think she would want to eat a lot of fried stuff because she's kind of health conscious. So I needed at least 2 more dishes, so I made a fresh dish, which was what we call a guacamole or a salsa, I guess. But it's like avocado, green pepper. I hope the music isn't too loud for anyone else. It's a little loud in my ears. Tomato, onion. What else did I put in that? Did I say avocado? Avocado, obviously. Way less avocado than you would think in a guacamole. Like, I think avocado is supposed to be the main ingredient in guacamole, but it's only one of like a bunch. So it's a little more of a salsa, I suppose. You just dice them and mix them up and toss some white vinegar, sugar, salt, this mushroom seasoning that we have, that's basically like a vegetarian chicken stock, but it's made of mushrooms, so I don't know what the magic is there. A little bit of garlic. Mix it all up. Mixa. And yeah. That with some chips. And then I made a bok choy stir fry with shiitake mushrooms. The mushrooms are so good. I don't like mushrooms generally, but there are 2 mushrooms that I like. One is I think it's shiitake mushrooms, but it's the dried mushrooms that are really, really wide, like that, with a tiny stem, and then it's like black. And usually they come dried, and you soak them, and the flavor is just so strong. Really umami sort of deliciousness. You don't even need meat if you use this in a dish. And then I like enoki mushrooms, but apparently those are like bad now. I think someone discovered that they had something wrong with them, so we're not allowed to eat them anymore. But yeah, I just stir fried the bok choy with the mushrooms and a little bit of salt and a lot of garlic, a whole lot of garlic, and that's it. You just got the garlic oil and the salt, and that's all you need. Zigzagoon's like, I just grabbed a carton of ice cream to eat. 3 guesses why. I'm sorry. I don't get to cook often. Probably because when I do, it takes, so I guess, long story short, I cooked from 3 to 5:30 to make not a lot of dishes, not a whole lot of dishes, while my mom can make like 5 dishes in an hour. But I don't get to cook often, cause there's always food available, and it's like, if I want to cook, I have to cook for the whole family. And if I don't cook, I have to eat whatever they got, and they always cook for everyone. Cause it would be weird, I guess, to just not cook for one person. But yeah. It's an adventure for me every time. It's fun. My mom's been trying out recipes as well. People are trying out new stuff now that they're stuck at home and not eating out all the time. It's great. I made some cheesecake the other day too, but it looked really good. It came out alright. I didn't use enough lime. We didn't have any lemons, and usually I use half a lemon, so instead I used half a lime, and I should have known better because it's so much smaller, but yeah, the lime flavor doesn't come through at all. Have you guys tried any new dishes while you are stuck at home? Or like pulled out any old dishes that you haven't made in a long time? Are there any like family recipes that that are unique to your kin? Anything you've invented? Okay, well, this accordion, I'm gonna just kind of guess on. Let me pull up the accordion reference so that I have something to look at, but I'm just kind of fake it, because I'm not gonna draw all of those. I'm not gonna draw all of those ridges accurately. I don't know what the buttons do. Because you have buttons over here, but then you also have keys over there. Maybe one is like Nope, I have no idea. The only instrument I've ever played is the violin. So think about the violin. You have the bow, right? That like creates the sound, and then you have the strings that you press down on that create the note. So on an accordion, I suppose the bow on the string, the pulling of the string, the friction would actually come from the pumping of the accordion. The air coming in and out, which makes sense. And then the notes, I assume, would then come from the keys, the literal keyboard, like the literal. I keep almost saying actual, and then for some reason I change it to literal, and I don't actually know why. There's nothing wrong with the word actual. I'm going crazy, but I am okay. I will be okay. I'm gonna make sure that the keys on this side fit well with this end. Like how the keys on that side fit well with that end. And then I'll try to make them match. I'll try to make them meet somewhere in the middle. Let's see if this works. It looks a little weird, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Doesn't it? Doesn't it? Alright. Well, Mom cleared out our Smartie ice cream. Oh, I'm making do. So I'm making do with vanilla. Oh no! I forgot to get ice cream. I went shopping yesterday and I forgot to get ice cream. I don't know what brand it is, but Giant had this fancy looking ice cream tub that the flavor is hazelnut chocolate chip, and oh, it's so good and decadent, and but I got a tub of that for my mom's birthday, so I don't want to be the last one to like finish it. So I was gonna get myself a new tub, and I just forgot. Oh, I didn't get any like fruits or veg for the rats either. I should have. Man, I'm so bad at surviving. Okay, accordion. Wait, almost done. Da, 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 da. There we go. Okay, accordion done. add some feathers. Oh, what's that? So I got my rats a wheel. I don't think you can see it very well, but it's in the cage there. It's a giant, I think 16-inch metal wheel. 16-inch so that their backs won't curl when they walk on it. And metal so they don't like chew it. And they have been terrified of it. It's been like... It's been several weeks now, I think, since I got that thing. At first I put it right in their cage, and they were absolutely terrified. They were just not having it. They wouldn't even go into that area of the cage anymore afterwards. They didn't want to touch it. They kept like pushing all of the bedding towards it as if to try to bury it. They did this like funny thing where like their paws, right? They would push the bedding up and like they're all scrunched up, and then they would just shovel bedding into the air like frantically. I wish I could have filmed it because it was so funny, but like they only did it like a very few times at a time, and every time I catch them I can't find my phone, or like the lighting's really bad, or if I like get close they get distracted by me and like stop doing it. But one of these days if I can catch it, Duncan right now is the only one that does it. Domino has... I've been able to trick him onto the wheel. Sometime last week, I got him onto the wheel, and with the help of some cheese, I got him to walk on it a little bit. So... Step 1 is complete. He knows how it works now, and he is brave enough to at least stand with all 4 paws on the wheel. So, good boy, Domino. Domino is not the bravest rat I've ever seen. But then again, he's only one of 2 rats that I've ever seen in person, at least. I've seen a lot of rats on YouTube, but, you know, it's not the same. Why is this mouth giving me so much trouble? There. Aw, that sucks. It's alright. Hopefully they warm up to it. It's there because I want them to get some exercise. But not every rat likes wheels, and I knew that when I got it, before I got it. So I wasn't, anticipating them to love it immediately. But it's just funny that they reacted to it so terrified. I think it might be like the loudness, the way it like amplifies sound, and then since it's metal, it's really loud when you tap on it. So maybe they're just not used to the way it sounds. All right. Almost done. The other day, I don't know if that's what is playing right now, but the other day, when Tota KK came to our island, me and my brother were asking him for songs, and my brother wanted to ask him for a non-song, just like a nothing, a random song, basically. Because if you didn't know, you can request songs from KK Slider, and if you spell it wrong, or if you type in something random that he doesn't know, he'll just make something up. In the old days, they would be pretty bad. He would play like some nonsense string of notes that don't sound good at all. But nowadays he actually plays music. So we were curious what he would play for us. And my brother, being a teenager, put in poop, and we sat down and we're like, aha, what's he gonna play? And he decides to play one of the best openings in Animal Crossing history, the Wild World opening song. I'm like, this ain't poop at all. But it was really nice. I'm like, why isn't this an actual song? Because Forest Life, I think, was added to... Was it City Folk or New Leaf or maybe even Wild World? But I think Forest Life is basically the theme for the first game. It doesn't sound good when you... as an air check, but when he sings it, it sounds kind of like the theme from the first one. I wish they would just make those available as songs. I would put them in my house. Maybe they're not long enough, I don't know. But he made a full song. He sang it for us. I heard it. I was there. I just don't know how to request for it. I also found out this morning that the songs in Japan are different from what they are in the localized version for America, or for the English, which makes sense because the Everything else is translated, like the dialogue and the names are even different, so... I mean, names for villagers. But it's just funny because a lot of the songs that are like cultural sounding are literally just called like KK and then the country. I think one of them was Imperial KK in America was just literally KK China. I don't know if there was even KK. Maybe it was just China. Another one was like Peru. You had like Mexico. Another funny translation that I found funny was Mr. KK, I think, is KK Sensei in Japan. And then Stale Cupcakes as a song. Is it called Stale Cupcakes? That one, I believe, is Blue Onigiri. At least that's the only one I can assume that song is. A lot of the other ones are, like KK Stroll are translated into complete Japanese, so I have no idea what they... I assume they are simply the Japanese word for whatever it is in English. But it's fun. It's fun to see how much Japanese I actually know from just osmosis. Alright. I don't know if I'm the only one who thinks this, but I feel like KK doesn't sound as good in this new game. Like I asked him to play, the second song I ever asked him to play in this new game was Only Me, which is one of my favorites, only because there's like a translated version on YouTube where there are like lyrics put to it, but the lyrics sound very close to the garbage, like the Animalese gibberish that he speaks, that he sings them in. So you can almost like sing along and it sounds like he's saying the same words. Anyway, when he gets to the bridge, and he holds out that note, oh my goodness, my eardrums. Something about the frequency of which his notes hit, and then when they are sustained. I don't know if it's something to do with our like TV or what, but I don't remember having this issue before. And it can't be that it's like because it's on TV and the other ones were on handheld, because the first Animal Crossing was on TV and so was City Folk. I played all of the Animal Crossings. So yeah, I don't know. But I highly recommend KK Ballad for anyone's first Tota KK song. It is, in my opinion, the absolute best. Though KK Jangara is extremely fast and impressive, in my opinion. Ha, Rat Rascal! No worries at all. How are you doing? You got a busy evening? Always good to see ya. We are working on D&D sheets, race charts, I suppose. Because they're not actual characters. We're just making, like, how would you, oh, what are they called? You know, when you, like, get a D&D, a book from, and they have, like, illustrations, and they, like, have the race and a certain class as an example of what they would look like. It's like that. That's what we're doing. It's part of a collab, I suppose you can call it. That I signed up to like many months ago now. I feel a little bad because I kept forgetting about it. But it's here. We're working on it, and this is gonna be this month's project, stream project. We're going to do this all month until it's done. Sweet, late because I actually in a D&D session with friends. What do you know? Oh wow, that's funny. That's a hilarious coincidence. Was it fun? I hope you had a good time. I've been in a couple of D&D sessions myself. They've always been very challenging. I find in improv to be very challenging, and that's, in my opinion, that's all D&D is. Okay, let's see. I need to remind myself what the patterns are, because he has some stripes. How do I get the stripes to look good and also make sense? So yeah, I am, of course, playing video game music because, I, like I said last week, I did check to see if anyone was watching the backlogs, and there was, like, I think 1 to 3 per video, and a lot of them were just zeros. So I think Mouse made a point that if it's not like a huge thing that people watch the backlog for the commentary, I assume they just, you know, kind of want to see how a certain thing was drawn is why they would look back to it. They don't need the commentary, so if the videos get muted because of copyright, hopefully that's okay. But if anyone does want commentary to be preserved, let me know. But for now, I think we might just not worry about it, because I'm pretty good at following rules when they're presented to me, to my face, and asking me to not use copyright music was one of them, but if we know exactly what the ramifications are, and if they're not a big deal, then we should just enjoy whatever music we want, right? That said, I don't actually have that many songs to pick from, so I have about 3 hours of music in this playlist, and we will play them to death until I find new music. Hopefully they are good. I also have a anime playlist, which we can listen to at some point if you guys like the sound of that. The sound. Okay. And of course I have a Disney playlist, which everyone loves Disney music, right? Now that one would obviously get muted immediately, but we're not too concerned. Again, we can switch around. That's Terrytown playing in the background. One of my favorite side quests in a Zelda game. Red says, I'm new to it. This is session 7. I'm still getting used to RPing over voice. But anyway, this session we chased down a murderous undead scarecrow and almost died. Wahaha! Zigzagoon said, did any of my recommendations reach you? I don't know. I think you recommended one for me to play. But why don't you pop, your recommendation again in case I missed it? Cause unlike the other playlists, I am playing this off of iTunes. So I can add and, change, what's on it on a whim. I have that power now, and it'll be shuffled every time, so it won't, be so obviously looped as it used to. And of course, even if I did take a recommendation, I was looking for a certain type of music. One that's chill, somewhat repetitive, but not not terribly so, and from a series that I have heard about. And of course, my personal taste as curator. So what's your character like, Rat? I have heard of Owlboy. I'll give it a listen. Yeah, if it... I know you can't hear the music since you got the other stream on, but if it matches the energy of the other songs, I can add it in. Always looking for recommendations because I don't actually play that many video games, it turns out. I was like sitting there trying to think of video games with soft music. I think that's pretty good. Let me cut into the line art a bit here so it doesn't feel so abruptly broken. Oh, you know what the barbarian needs? Scars. A fishbone scar over here. Oh wait, but that's fur. Hold on. Okay, he can have a scar on his beak. Right? And then he can have kind of shoot, he's covered in like fur. I'll deal with that next week. Let's color our bard, shall we? Oh, look at him. He's so happy. Okay. Dun 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 dun. Oh. Do, 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 do. Whenever I hear this song from Ace Attorney, I always think my stream is over. Cause in the past I had it set to as the last song to play. Before it was time to end the session. So it's kind of a Pavlov dog response that I have where I'm like, oh, it's this song. I think it's called like Turnabout Sisters or something. Dun 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 dun. Da 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 da. All right. Green. What green should we do? Maybe more of a blue green. Maybe more of a minty kind of green. Oh, look, that's so refreshing looking. Isn't it? You a bard-like sensation. And then the beak obviously would have to be sort of a orange, darker. Maybe the boots are the same color as the brown on the other parts. Nada. And would making the satchel the same color as well be too much? I think so, yeah. It's touching too much of the other parts. Let's make it more of a ruddy brown. And then we can also make his cloth the same color. I could make every part a different color, or I can try and stick to a few to make it feel a little more cohesive. Just a little. Let's do softwood for the ladle ladle. La-di-da-dle. The coin purse. No real logic, you know? And oh shoot, I don't know what Rufflet's feather is. White. Okay. White and then red. The other one is red, but it's shiny, so let's add some shine to it. Because in our lore, this is actually a Skarmory feather. I don't actually know how to draw metal, so that doesn't look too good. Let's backtrack a little. Something like that. Oopsie. Oh, let's go back. What if we did something like kind of like it's a, you know, shining. Okay, without that, let me see. A gradient, perhaps. Yeah, like that. And then you put that on. Does it look weird? Is it too rendered? It's because when I make this brush big, it gets soft, which I didn't, like, want, but... Let's, put a little bit of shadow gradient on the other feather too would help. Oops. Let's see. Oh, my character, she's a mouse folk named Pippa. Pippa. She's a druid, but also a criminal. She despises larger cities, uses her nature powers to steal from them and help her village that lives in the woods. That's the short version. She can be a little sarcastic and mean, but it's also the party healer at the moment. Oh, that's cute! Oh, that's so cute. I love that backstory. Mouse folk, huh? There was a D&D spin-off game, a tabletop RPG about like trash creatures. I think it was called Trashkin or something. Where you could be stuff like opossums and raccoons. Just all sorts of silly. Never heard of mouse folk. I didn't know that was a race. Don't know if that was newly added or if it was homebrewed in, but that sounds like a lot of fun. It's homebrewed, okay. I imagine they're just either really small halflings or really large mice. Yeah, I have a friend who plays DnD on Fridays, and I think they stream it. I haven't been able to watch any of the streams because I didn't know they were streaming it. Well, no, I think I knew they were streaming it, but I didn't know when or where. But she just told me about it today and invited me to watch it, so I'll try to catch it on Friday. That's what I'll be doing, and looking forward. She's the friend that actually introduced me to D&D. Don't ask me what the channel is because she hasn't told it to me yet, but I assume she's gonna text it to me or something. I can't imagine, like, playing in front of a crowd, though. That just seems stressful. Alright, let's get the shading out of the way. Hopefully, I think we'll have enough time to get this done today. We're making some good time. I'm not sure what I'm doing with the shading here. I'm just kind of filling in what I think should be covered, like should be blocked. If the light is coming from this side, right? But I'm also using the parts that aren't shaded to try and bring parts out, like the rim here. Leaving a little bit of light there so that you can see it. The rim here, gonna fill that in. And then I guess if the light's coming from that way, then this would just be completely blocked in. Oh, there will probably be a little bit of a cast. Dun, 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 dun. Da, 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 dum. Mm-hmm. Oh, here's Domino. Coming out for a little stroll. I need to figure out what to do about the carpet, you guys. Whenever I let them out of the cage, they like to hide under the cage for whatever reason. And then they just wee and poo down there. Which, you know, I can sweep up alright when it's poo. But the wee kind of like sinks into the carpet. It's a ratty old rug, so I'm not like concerned about it in terms of, oh, it's ruining the rug or whatever, but I certainly don't want it to smell bad. So yeah, I'm gonna, well, I was supposed to, man, I just remembered I was supposed to clean the carpet today. Oh well. I'll try to do it tomorrow. But I was gonna see if I can do a bit of a clean on the carpet. Maybe like soak it with some vinegar water or whatever. Da da dun dun da da dun dun da dun da 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 ya da dee da. Basically, she's an anthro mouse and is like 2 feet tall, tiny for a person, but you can't mistake them for normal mice. Kind of like, oh, what's his face from the Narnia movie, like Rattlescattle or something like that. The mouse dude. Zigzagoon's like, that was a mood when we had Molly. Yeah, like I don't know what Disney's going on about, or like Cat's going on about these days with their like, oh, we're breaking ground with our digital animal fur technology, when freaking the Narnia movies had amazing animal CGI back in the day. Like Aslan looks so much better than the whatever live action Lion King stuffs. Where was they're like, oh, we can't make our lions emote or it won't look right. Because they're too realistic or whatever. But Aslan looked realistic. He was a realistic lion, and he spoke and laughed and had emotions all over the place. Gee, you're right. I saw TLK talk 2019 in theaters. The Lion King. Gotcha. Because my cousins wanted to go see it. It drove me insane. It was so bad. It's really sad to me because it is exactly the kind of stuff that I'm into. I really love CGI animals that look realistic, but you know, talk and act like cartoons. Rocket Raccoon is like my favorite character from the Avengers just because of what he is. Like, I can watch that raccoon yell and scream and like talk all day long. I love him. He looks so good, you guys. Rocket looks like a realistic raccoon face, and he emotes. Why can't your lions? Come on, Disney. Come on, Disney. You gotta do better. I do want to eventually see The Lion King. But it would have to be like someone else is watching it and I'm like, oh, I'll watch it with you kind of deal. I'm not gonna spend money on it. But it is on the surface, it is exactly my jam. I might enjoy it just on the on like just the way that I don't know. Like, I've seen clips of Timon, and he looks fun. I think he looks good. It's a little embarrassing that it's, like, literally the movie again, but with CGI. But, I mean, I went to see Lion King on Broadway, and that was just the movie again, with props. So it just seems like a thing that they do. Timon worked great because meerkats are naturally jitty and expressive, but he was like the only one. Aw. Rocket Raccoon is also miles better than CGI Lion King. It's so weird because Lion King came out way later than Rocket. Rocket is the best. Yeah, didn't find it bad at all. Yeah, it's I guess it's up to your taste, but as I guess as someone who grew up with the original, it's like, what's the point? And comparing it to like actual good CGI characters, it's like you could have done better. I saw some video of meerkats the other day, and I never realized how just adorable they are, just in real life. They're like tiny little scrawny rats. I love them. Yeah, Wheeler's like, also, I like how they call it live action when it's actually hyper-realistic 3D animation. Yeah, the only live action in that movie is the grass. That's like, are you saying the dinosaur movie was also a live action? Is that like a live action Land Before Time? Yeah, I know people who like refuse to call it live action just because of that. It's like, it's not live action, it's CGI. Give props to the CGI crew, you know, they worked hard on it. It's not a live action movie or whatever you say. You can't like cheat your way into the Oscars. It's not even He didn't even break any ground, really. But I will see it eventually. It's one of those, I should probably see it eventually because it's the kind of thing that I like. Speaking of watching things, we finished season 1 of Kaiji finally. It was bleh. It like coming out of Kekai Sensen, I think is what it's called, or Blood Blockade Battlefront. It was definitely more interesting, more exciting because there was actual plot and stuff and actual stakes. But I don't know, like the pacing definitely dragged way down at the end. And Kaiji's just so dumb. He's like really, really good at figuring out what he does wrong after the fact when it's like way too late. On the one hand, I do kind of want to see season 2 just because I'm not one to like not continue, not finish an anime. I like to see a show through, just in case there's like a moment or you know, something that is good later. And it's not like so horrible that I don't care about the characters. I don't really care about the characters, but I care about them enough that I would see a second season. The person I'm watching the show with, though, doesn't really like it. So I think we might have to drop it. Like, for me, it's interesting enough. There's enough going on that I would personally finish season 2 as well to see where it goes. I might do it on my own later. Also because I have a friend who absolutely adores the anime, so actually scratch that. I don't know if he necessarily adores the anime or if he really likes the manga and enjoys the anime. But like another problem though is there's only 2 seasons, and I know the manga is still going, or if not still going, has gone on farther than. So there's not going to be an end, it seems. But I'm a little bit of a, I have a bit of a completionist problem when it comes to anime that I just, even with anime I hate. Like, I watched the whole of Watamode, and I hated that show from just the beginning. I couldn't stand the character. But for some reason, I just kept watching. I think just on force of will, and the animation was, like, really good. I kept wanting to believe that it would get better, I guess. And I think that's my folly. And I understand it. I think I'm slowly weaning myself off of it because, I agreed to drop Kaiji. I'll probably continue it on my own. But we're talking about Kaiji, the Ultimate Survivor, a show I've been watching with my other friend, that we've been pulling our hair out about. My friend has suggested we watch Demon Slayer next, because after 2 duds, I think it's time that we give ourselves a break and watch something that's actually got good reviews, I guess. I kind of wanted to save Demon Slayer to watch with another friend of mine, but it's been forever, and like it doesn't seem like he's gonna have any free time. And at this point, like, I just want to watch a good anime. So we're gonna give Demon Slayer a try. Probably this week we'll start with episode 1. There's only been 2 anime that I've watched all the way through that I would say I really dislike. The Watamode is one of them, and the other one is the Dot Hack series. And that one was because my friend held a gun to my face and made me watch it. So I don't think I can be held accountable for that one. So to be fair, I think my record isn't that bad. I have enjoyed most shows that I've given a gander to. I think it's like, I usually drop shows after the first episode if I really don't like it. And I need to, there's certain factors that need to be how do I say it, met. Certain aspects that I need to find for me to continue a show. One, I need at least one character that I really like, or the show has to have a style that I enjoy looking at. Like if I find your show aesthetically pleasing enough that my eyeballs are happy, I might continue watching your show. And I think that was what got me to finish Watamode, but it was not enough. Good visuals is not enough when your show just has the absolute worst, most unlikable characters in it. Keikai Sensen, though, the characters weren't dislikable. So I think I'll still give that show a pass. Despite everything, I think I would still... I would see it again. Season 1 at least. I don't have the patience for season 2. Oops. Let's see. Maybe the most angry was the "remember who you are, remember who you are" scene. It was so botched. Timon, I don't know, right? It's weird because meerkats are actually mustelids. Prairie dogs are equally as cute and expressive. I've seen videos of them giving the all clear call when predators leave, and it looks like they're jumping for joy. I think prairie dogs are actually a kind of ground squirrel. Isn't that weird? The show with animation, never heard of it. Anyway, can I recommend an anime for you? Sure, go ahead. Yeah. You can always recommend things. Never any promises that I'll actually like follow through on the recommendations, but you can always recommend things. Let's see. What were we even talking about? So, when it comes to songs, I tend to only be able to listen to one iteration of a song. Let's say you're a world reclaimed musical and you've been played on Broadway like many times. But if I have spent any number of time listening to your soundtrack, that specific soundtrack is how I will think of the songs. And if you intonate or perform the song in any other way, I'm gonna be like, that's not right. Like if you breathe in the wrong place. Obviously, if I'm like at your live show, that wouldn't matter. Live shows are like different, you know? Someday I definitely want to watch Cats on Broadway. I think that would be an amazing experience. I just want to see it live, just once. But no one would do Rum Tum Tugger as good as the VHS version from like 1960 something or whatever, 1989, 1986. I don't know what the date is. I feel like that might be a problem when I see The Lion King. Not just for the songs. It will definitely be a problem for the songs. I've already heard some of the songs and I hate them for the same reason I've said before. But I think even like dialogue, if they keep any dialogue and they like recite it differently, I might not like it. Like you have to, I don't know, like you have to make it different enough that it's its own thing so that I can not compare it to what came before, because I'm going to compare it. You invite comparison if you recreate scene by scene, shot for shot, a previous work. It's like you can't do that and then say, oh, it's unfair that you're comparing it to the blah, 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 blah. It's like, no. That's exactly what they want me to do. But yeah, like the remember who you are. I don't know, if they do it differently. And then, you know, with these like Disney remakes, these live action remakes. Okay, I hate this accordion so much right now. I think I'm just gonna... It doesn't actually work. So I'm gonna stop trying to make it work. Anyway. With the Aladdin, I didn't see Aladdin, but I've heard of it. And with the Beauty and the Beast, which I also haven't seen, but I've heard of it. Apparently they tried to fix, quote unquote, air quotes, fix a lot of problems from the original. That weren't really problems. And I wonder if they're trying to do that again with the new Lion King. If they complicate matters, make it worse by trying to fix what wasn't really an issue to begin with. And don't get me wrong, I've seen reviews that tear apart The Lion King and I've agreed with them. I still like the movie, but I don't consider it like a perfect movie. It's not my favorite Disney movie by far. I haven't even seen it in ages. Okay, I spent way too long on the accordion. Let's Howdy, John. Let's see. Rat says, yeah, I think I might have told you that prairie dogs were ground squirrels. You very much might have. Zigzagoon says, car robots. Okay. Here's the playlist. Okay, thank you. Car robots, it sounds like a transformer. Oh, The Lion King on Broadway is incredible, says Mouse. Yeah, it's the only Broadway show I've ever seen live. I went with my orchestra group when we went to New York. In high school, our orchestra group every year would take a trip to somewhere to perform, and then we would like hang out in that area. And I went to the New York trip, and we did Broadway, and it was great. It was definitely an experience, a huge experience. But it being the first Broadway show I ever been to, I didn't know what to expect, and I was very surprised that it was like literally beat for beat the movie. With almost no change. I think the only change that I really appreciated was that they added one song. What was it? It was the He Lives in You song, and I recognized it from the second movie. And I think like it was in the Broadway show first, so you know it's not like, oh, they got a song from the second movie. But I recognized it from the second movie, which was great. And yeah, everything else was just a spectacle. I think that's what Lion King on Broadway is. It's a spectacle that you have to see in person to see the puppetry. Oh man, the puppets are so cool. How they get all the animals. And I really thought it was neat that like they're not in full costume, you know? If you've ever seen it, the lion characters are just kind of people dressed in some African style garb, and then they have these giant African style masks that they wear on top of their heads. And some of them, like Scar's mask, was articulated so it can come down and he can look menacing. And I think some of the others had ones that come down so they can like attack or fight. But others, like most of the females, I think Nala had just a static, you know, a headdress basically. And it was really cool. I thought it was neat how they made it so that you can suspend your disbelief. The kids were cute. I enjoyed Pumbaa. His puppet was fun. How it was like it was like one of those costumes where you're a guy, right, with your guy legs, and then the costume makes it look like your legs are these animal legs, and then there's like a head that comes out, and let's say it's like a T-Rex or something, right? And then you like dress up like a cowboy, and then you have like little fake legs that attach here, and then it looks like you're some like funny cartoon cowboy man riding a dinosaur. I want one of these costumes, by the way. I want one so bad. It's like on my list of things I want, but won't buy because I probably won't wear it because it's kind of dumb, but I still really want it. That's on the top of the list. Anyway, that's basically what Pumbaa's actor was. And then Zazu was literally a guy. I think he even had like a top hat. It was like literally a guy that was dressed like, I think he had a bow or something. He was like dressed really nice in like a fancy outfit. And then he had a full-on Zazu just like sitting on his shoulder as a puppet. And he was like muppeting. He was like puppeting him like a Muppet. He had like a stick for his head and everything. It was great. You didn't like think, oh, it's a guy with a puppet. You saw Zazu. I think Avenue Q probably does the same style of character for their show. But anyway, I thought it was neat. Let's see. Sorry, let me catch up with the chat. Let me go back a while. Wait, we're talking about Disney remakes, says Mouse. My bad, I thought we were talking about Broadway. I'm talking about both. I related it to Broadway in that, it's like the Lion King live action remake was kind of just the same as the movie. And I was surprised when I first saw Broadway because it was kind of the same as the movie, but it like the form was so different that it kind of merits like having something like that. I don't know. I don't know what my point was. I'm just saying if I enjoy the visuals of the new Lion King, I can probably buy into like the changes the first time I watch it, but I don't know if it's something that I would watch over and over again. My DnD character was an Aarakocra rogue that played the accordion. It was also always so hard to draw. Yeah, accordions, man. At least in Breath of the Wild, they just had to model one accordion. There's things about the Lion King setting and pacing that can be torn apart, but for me, it's just the emotional moments that hit hard. Zigzagoon says, how's Garfield treating you? Okay, Broadway is the freaking best, says Mouse. Also, yes, it is Transformers, says Zigzagoon. Yes, He Lives in You. No, it wasn't originally from the sequel. I need to look it up for like, to see if it's true, but I'm pretty sure it was from the Broadway because when I watched the sequel on VHS before the movie started, there was a thing where a person went to the Broadway show and said, there's a song from the Broadway show in the movie, and they were like all excited about it, and then they like showed a thing promoting the Broadway show, and I got really excited and stuff. Little baby me watching my VHS. I really enjoyed the Lion King sequel. I mean, if it's from the sequel, then okay. That's pretty funny that they added, wait, I didn't color the accordion. I imagine they included because the song freaking slaps. It is a good song, but all of the songs from Lion King 2 are good. I think. Let's see. And color the feathers gray. And let's put the shading back on and turn it down a bit because it's way too intense. Round out the face a bit, and you know what? That might be this character done. I'll put the shadow on a separate layer. But that's just on time. So next week we will continue this series with the barbarian, and I will if I get that done on time, hopefully be able to do the sketches for Lombre as well. Before we end the stream though, let's do just a random Pokemon and a random D&D class, shall we? Any class at all, and then any Pokemon. Let's hear it in the chat. And the first one I see, I'll do. This one will be a bit long, so I can't do multiples like I sometimes do. But I will just choose the first one I see when I look up. And I think that's pretty good. Ludicolo Bard. And gosh darn it, I'm allowed to noodle. It's my show. Don't yell at me. Machop as a knight. Machop as a knight. Okay, let's see. Oh shoot, you know what? We're not done. I forgot to shade the rest of the parchments. But let me think about that matcha. A knight isn't exactly a class, I don't think, but I think what you mean is fighter, and then like I guess a knight would be a subclass where they ride a horse. I guess I don't know that much about D&D, you guys. Okay, now wait, no, I want this to be, now, well, okay, and then, okay, now we're done, I think, okay, okay, I think now we're done, alright, let me open up a new layer, let's just sketch this boy out, and, let's see. The other choices were Rowlet as a rogue. John says that was literally my D&D character. A Mouse says Mudkip Druid. That's a good choice. Wheeler said my brain didn't produce a D&D class fast enough. Rat Rascal says Stoutland as a paladin. That's pretty good too. I like Stoutland. Watcher comes in again with a Meowth as Dancer. I don't think that's a class, Zigzagoon. Ziggs says Zigzagoon Archer, finally a class. Technically, I guess Ranger, but close enough. Of course, Master Wheeler wants a Pikachu, just couldn't think of a class. Alright. Plot twist, the Machop is actually a girl. Zigzagoon, I don't think being a certain gender qualifies as a plot twist as much as Ready Player One might make you want to believe. What does a Machop look like? They have these things on the top of their head. Okay. So I got a plucky little fighter here. Right? What makes it a fighter? Let's try a I don't know why, but I'm just thinking a turtleneck. Okay? So we're gonna start with a turtleneck. And then I'm gonna give him a cloak. See, I gave him a bandana because I don't want to give him a helmet. But the bandana is close to maybe a monk, so I gotta be careful about that. And I want to give him a cloak, but that's kind of close to paladin, so I gotta be careful of that. Give him a breastplate, obviously. don't know. I think they just have kind of like normal boy legs. I'll give him some knee guards. And let's give him gauntlets. Give him a shield. And he can get a spear. Let's give him a big old spear. This is armor, by the way. I know it doesn't really look much like armor, but it's shiny, I swear. Trust me. Put some rivets on it. That makes it look like armor, right? Maybe a crest. Maybe a crest will make it look more like armor. And I think that's as close as to a soldier as I can get. To a fighter, actually. I think that's the actual class. He's a fighter. I would have to draw a horse to make him a knight, so I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, actually it's a ranger, not an archer. Blastoise as a cleric is another DnD character. Excuse me for not knowing scrap about D&D. You're close enough. The funny thing is, Zigzagoon, you are close on every regard. You said knight instead of fighter. You said archer instead of ranger. You were always like right there. It's funny. I'm sorry. We're here to have fun. But yeah, that's the show, folks. So I guess thank you everyone for coming by. I think, gosh, let me turn this down. Monitor off, please. Thank you. Sorry if that was any echo going on. But yes, thank you for coming to the stream. It was a lot of fun. We got a lot done, and we will continue on next week. Have a good start of your month, and yeah, don't forget to be awesome. I'll catch you guys later. Stay inside, stay safe, and keep your nose clean. Adios, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye. Goodbye.